You're muted, Andrew.
I was so excited and you couldn't hear the words. Hello, everybody.
Nope.
As always, I'm Andrew. Welcome to tonight's watch party for the 1996 genre rebooting classic Scream. As always, again, as I said earlier, I'm Andrew and I'm joined by Dom. I apologise to everyone. I've got a stinking cold, but hey, I'm going to press on. So, everybody, today's sync point will be where it says Dimension Films on screen. I've put a screenshot in the Discord. So everybody, let's get into this. We'll do a roll call. What do you get ready? And I'm going to ask Dom in a minute when he first saw this film. So let's have a look. Over on YouTube, we have Hell If I Know and James Hellier. Welcome. And if we look on our Discord, we've got some amazing friends joining us. I can see Calbot, Sharon, MadMat42, Lizardman, Phonic, Eric, Onzi, Leanne, Victor, Fierce Fern, and Mr. Furzel. So, everybody. Dom, when did you first see this?
I think I saw this first on VHS when I was...
Yeah.
Because this was the talk of the town when a lot of these movies came out, like, all at once. Like this and several other teen horror movies that were essentially the same. And I think one of my friends was like, Scream is the original, it's the best, it's the greatest. And I hadn't seen it, so I checked my local VHS rental store, found it, convinced my brother to get it for me, watched it, loved it, and have been a Scream advocate ever since.
There we go. I think with me, I saw it. I saw it basically on VHS as soon as it was released on VHS. But I remember the marketing in the cinema all being the "Do you like scary movies?" and all those little, almost like pop bites they did for the trailers on TV. They had full length trailers, but lots of very short little sort of snippet to get you enticed by the film. I can also see our friend Pepjin is joining us, and James Hellier says he first saw this in the cinema when it was just about legal. I would have been just turned legal when this came out too, because it was 96. I was 18 then. Leanne said she first saw it on VHS. So let's get this film started, and we'll carry on discussing it. I've got plenty to get through. So on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press play.
That is such a 90s, like...
Oh, yeah.
Thing. It reminds me of the "you wouldn't steal a car," like that commercial, the anti-piracy commercial.
I do have to say we're immediately into our bait and switch.
Yes.
Because Drew Barrymore was the biggest star, probably, and she was front and centre in the marketing for a lot of it.
All of the marketing, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone was convinced this is going to be your final girl because we've been taught over a decade's worth of films that the pretty blonde girl who you see early on is going to survive.
You see, now this is why I don't like houses with lots of glass doors and windows like that. Very open houses. Especially if you live near any kind of woods.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, what I like is this was deliberately going on the stereotypes of kind of the house in the woods sort of thing. And I saw earlier a comment in the Discord, Sharon, yes, I checked. They still sell Jiffy Pop in Walmart. You can still buy it widely. It's not something we have in the UK, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I've only ever made popcorn in the microwave. And much like many other people, I didn't use the little hole, the lip, to get rid of the unpopped kernels. I just thought it was venting. Because why would I... No one gave me instructions apart from how to microwave it.
Exactly. But I've become somewhat of a popcorn snob these days, and yeah, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the best popcorn, quickly on a... Oh, welcome Laurie Duval over on YouTube saying perhaps Drew was actually murdered for her hairstyle. Yeah, possibly. I will say I'm somewhat of a popcorn snob now, unfortunately, and the best popcorn I've ever eaten, I have to go and get a couple of times a year in Florida. They sell it in Disney World, in Epcot, in the Werther's shop. Homemade,
Incredible.
homemade Werther's caramel popcorn. It's like cocaine in a bag. Dom, you'd be walking around with an IV drip of insulin in your arm
Yeah,
as
I'd
well.
need one. It would give me multiple types of diabetes.
Yeah, but it's absolutely incredible. And UK cinema popcorn is the worst thing in the world. No, UK cinema popcorn is dreadful.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
All our big chains used to actually pop the popcorn fresh, but they no longer do now. It comes in big garbage bags pre-popped, and it's squeaky and stale when you get it. It's terrible. Oh, and this was
One of the early instances as well where a horror film referenced modern horror icons, because you see horror
yeah.
films mention like, oh, you mean like a Dracula or a Frankenstein monster, stuff from years and years and years and years ago. But this was cultural zeitgeisty,
Oh, definitely.
mainstream, like name
It was
dropping
kind of meta. What?
Halloween.
Yeah, sort of meta, wasn't it? Also, welcome to Robin, the big boss man, joining us, and he's on his holiday. Hope he's having a lovely time over on YouTube. And James Helly says they used this whole sequence for the audition with Billy actor voicing Ghostface. And Robin says he can't wait to cover 90s horror. Neither can I. Eric says all these horror movies in the US, why no one ever has a shotgun or something in the house? Well, I don't know.
I live in the US. I don't have a gun in the house.
No, no,
Telling every robber in.
in the neighbourhood.
But I have a dog. Better than any gun.
Yeah,
Bones
he
is a
will.
gargantuan, massive, beastly monster.
Oh well, Pep Chin, I'm sorry you don't. You said you don't really like the movie all that much. You came to hang out. It's wonderful to have you with us, my friend, and you're always welcome. But hopefully you'll maybe enjoy the film a little more.
I do like the camera work in this scene as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of long moving shots.
Such a chintzy 90s living room, isn't it?
It is.
Exactly, Laurie. It's a shame these folks couldn't afford curtains and nets or blinds.
Some days you have to choose more glass doors or window or curtains.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Fizzle. The encyclopedias on the shelf.
Ah, yes, the Encyclopedia Britannica.
But again, this is very much of the era where we were all a bit more disconnected because she didn't have, mobile internet in her hand.
It is unnerving, like the idea of this
Yeah.
actually happening, where
Yeah.
because everyone and their gran talks about horror film. Why didn't they just go and get their 12 gauge shotgun and blow the guy to smithereens? Well, this is like playing on those people who say like, oh, I'd do this and I'd do that in a horror film, and
Well,
this is a
welcome
killer
Phonics,
that
who says the cinematographer on screen was Mark Irwin. He collaborated with David Cronenberg quite a lot.
you can see it because a lot of
Yeah.
Cronenberg movies have a similar flow to them, like it lingers in an almost uncomfortable way. And look at all this arguably negative space. It's not really negative space. It tells you a lot about Drew's character here.
Yeah.
The movies everywhere. Like she's clearly
Well,
an educated lady.
well, the way I see it, she's got quite wealthy parents. She's obviously quite a nice
Yeah.
house. And something else I noticed, and I don't know if it's just for effect they did it, because Calbot raised this, but they've got the heating on the pool because there's steam coming off the pool.
Steam coming up at you.
Yeah, I get exactly, Lizard Man. Yeah, they must have it heated, and the rich people. That's what I would guess.
Oh, for sure. Yep, it's true.
It is.
Yep. No, it's not.
No. Yeah, but this is also me
Pamela.
when I do. Yeah, but this is also me when I do trivia contests on films and things, and
I
they actually
know.
ask, they have the wrong answer as the person asking
Exactly.
the question is wrong, and I derail the whole contest. Hence, I'm not allowed to take part in a lot of trivia contests now.
But again, it's playing with audience
Oh,
expectations. This is
definitely.
a girl who is wealthy, is pretty, is well put together. She knows all about these horror movies. She should know
Well,
what to do,
yeah. Well,
and
I don't
it's
think she's
useless.
directly wealthy. I think it's very much she's a
Oh,
mommy
nepotism, yeah.
daddy's. Yeah, she's a rich kid.
Oh, for sure.
But it's quite the opening to the film because you don't think this is at all where it's going.
No.
Oh yeah, Fraglord. Your grandparents having their TV in a wooden cabinet like that with a TV that weighs as much as a small car. Oh, she's using a letter opener.
The sharpest thing she has, I guess.
Yeah. Oh no, the Jiffy Pop's burning. Take it to the sink.
I do like the unsheathing sound from.
Yeah.
They should make knives that have that sound effect every time you
They
pull them.
actually do. You can buy knife blocks that sharpen the knives when you put them in and pull them out now.
That's awesome.
James
Makes it
Haley
sound
says,
of a
I've seen
samurai.
when a stranger calls, the cops will come. Yeah. Mad Matt says, hit the killer with the burning Jiffy Pop.
Yeah.
That's all right. Get molten caramel on him.
It's the only way. His only weakness.
Oh. Yeah. Her parents have a long drive.
That's the problem with having.
Money.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll be with you soon, dear. We're driving through the second aviary. So we'll be there in 45 minutes.
Unfortunately, that's the kind of house that that a few years later you'll be waiting years to get broadband on because of the length of the
Yeah.
drive.
It's a lovely house, though.
Oh, it is.
Ooh. Treading on that glass wouldn't be fun.
No, not at all.
Ugh.
Ooh.
The iconic
Yeah.
actual title opening now is coming up, isn't it? But here's something that's new as well. The killer isn't totally impervious to all kinds of damage.
Oh no, he's not. He's not Michael Myers.
No. And he talks so much.
Yeah.
Like Freddy before him.
Oh yeah. He's very much inspired by the greats, isn't he? As we find
Oh,
out later
yeah.
on. Right, she's in trouble. Oh god, look, she's left the
The
popcorn
popcorn.
on. Look, you've ruined that popcorn. That was $3.49.
I'm
Popcorn doesn't
taking it
grow
out
on
of your allowance.
trees. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Laurie. Also in the novel to show the parents and their reactions hearing a die on the phone is quite brutal.
It's a slow death as well.
Oh, definitely. we won't find the Calder's phone handset now, no matter where it is. And
God damn it. Those things cost an arm and a leg. You can't just buy a new thing. You got to buy a whole new system.
Yeah, Pepjin, drowning in your own blood, basically. He must have had that noose and everything pretty much prepared to take us straight up on, because he wouldn't have a chance to climb up the tree. And so pretty well planned. James Helly says, in the script, Kevin Williamson would give some general direction and then say, Wes, do something to make this scary. And if your name is Mackenzie, says Laurie Duval, be prepared for knocks on the door in the middle of the night. Well, my name's not Mackenzie, fortunately. But strangely enough, we did have a Tommy knocker at our door just a few minutes before we came on air. The kid ran up to our door, knocked on it and ran, but the camera on the driveway, on the doorbell camera, I was like, right. There are no boys in here, are there?
Boys aren't allowed in my house.
Pepchin asking, did this start the Scary Movie franchise? If you mean the Scary Movie parody franchise, yes, this was the one that really kind of got it going. But we're doing a mini season at the moment, and it's sort of this and its counterparts we're going to be covering over the next couple of weeks. Really got sort of the Scary Movie franchise happening.
For sure. Because after this, everyone wanted a piece of the pie. They all wanted to copy it. Again, very similar to in the early 80s when slashers kind of revitalized cinemas. Everyone came rushing in to make cheap, quick, dirty horror films. And those movies are beloved like today. Like a lot of the Jason knockoffs or the Halloween knockoffs, all of the Nightmare on Elm Street knockoffs, they're fun and beloved in a different way. And the same thing happened in the 90s.
Definitely.
Wes Craven did it again. He revitalized the horror genre.
Yes, exactly. Billy needs to wash his hair, Laurie, and Pepchin says horror's like a cockroach. It never really goes out of style. It always comes back.
True evil never dies.
But I mean, it's probably worth noting that the gap between this movie and now would be 27 years old, this film.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah. It's 27 years old, this film. So if this came out in 96, it was actually less of a gap between the likes of the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and Halloween, between those and this. Yes, Andrew realises Andrew is old, I know. Yeah, the problem is, James, I was 18 when this came out, so very much like you, my friend. So I was an adult when this came out, well, legally an adult.
Yeah, but now we're getting to the point where we're showing movies that I was around for, that I existed. So now I'm starting to feel like you're dragging me down with you, Andrew. This is a good version of the song, isn't it? I am digging this.
Definitely. That's why it was our intro music tonight.
Yeah. Such a 90s heartthrob, eh?
Yeah. Well, Sharon says she was pregnant with her first child in 96, and this makes her feel old now. I know. This seems recent to me.
It does. Yeah.
That's the scary thing.
And this is another subversion of genre tropes. The more promiscuous ladies tend to bite the bullet pretty early on. However, here's your leading lady, everyone.
She's not promiscuous, is she? There's only a flash. There's only a flash. She wouldn't get funky.
But still, the non-demonization of sexuality is something that's
Yeah.
quite pleasant to see, and I'm glad
Also,
that.
soundtrack here is a little over the top.
No, it's great. It feels
It's
so much 90s
yeah. Oh, it is, but kind of choral music, etc.
with the like grunge behind it.
Yeah, exactly, Laurie. It is a great soundtrack.
Oh, it feels like Alice in Chains. I'm getting back into my grungy phase. This is great.
Well, James Helly says Freddie Prinz said he failed the audition for Billy because he was asked to show danger and edge, and those are two things you could never associate with him, but you could with Skeet.
Yeah.
Again, this is a proper little middle America town in the middle of nowhere kind of place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Look at this boy with his sweater wrapped around his shoulders.
That's right. Principal Fonzie.
I can't take him seriously. Not after Arrested Development. Every time I see him, I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh.
Exactly, Sharon. I can't see him as anything other than the Fonz.
Yeah. I'm telling you, every American film I watched as a kid, they all had these gazebos. Where are all the gazebos in America? I've been here for over a year now, and I'm not seeing many. I've seen like two. I expect to trip over gazebos every other
It looks
day.
very different from my British school, I can tell you that.
You didn't have water fountains outside?
No.
Go to the northeast, all right?
No, we didn't have fountains outside. I'll tell you what, I'll do you all a treat if I can quickly find it.
We want this guy to play Shaggy in our Scooby Doo movie. He's got the perfect atmosphere. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Yeah, and you'll make Son of the Mask.
Oh, I forgot that film existed. How could
I
you bring that
know.
back?
I know.
We all knew creepy, weird kids like that in school. And if we didn't, we were probably the weird, creepy kid in school. God, I remember trying to convince my buddies about Final Destination, trying to give them the concept of there not really being a villain. And they were like, "What do you mean death is the villain? Like, who's the bad guy? Who's the Freddy?" It's like, there isn't really one. It's the concept of death. So yeah,
Find
maybe I was the weird kid in school. That's such a beautiful house as well. Look at it.
It is. It's a very beautiful kind of place, isn't
It's
it?
got a deck. How many deck chairs do you need? The Titanic had less deck chairs than that.
It is. It's like a cafe outside their house.
Yeah.
You need multiple tables of chairs. And look at the view.
Yes! What? I'd pay to eat there. Look at it. It's gorgeous.
There you go, everybody. I've just put, when I was of a similar age to these, that's my class photo.
Everyone play Find Andrew.
Oh, you'll find me. What exactly does Sydney's dad do for a living? I guess he worked. He said he was staying in a hotel near the airport. So
Hilton,
so either he works with ladies of the night, or he works at the airport, or a combination of the two.
He's a pimp for Hilton hotels, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
There's another TV in a wood cabinet.
That's right.
What's with all the wooden ducks?
Maybe imports, exports, lorry, yep. James Elliott says he's a travelling salesman, possibly.
Ah, yes. Much like the dad from Gremlins. He's going to bring home a mogwai and make everything way worse.
That's right, with my big beard and brown jumper back then. Onzi.
This film really does like showing off the houses that they're using as sets, doesn't it?
Beautiful, beautiful house. I mean, I'll be honest, she's got, again, all these kids live in absolutely incredible houses with amazing views.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Oh, it was the 90s, don't forget. So her dad was probably a janitor or something on his salary and could afford that house.
Yeah. Sunset! You can watch from your bedroom watching the sunset behind the mountains. This isn't fair. Where was my riveting sunset in my childhood home?
Yeah, exactly, Sharon. That's $1 million view from her house. Oh, Pepsin says you don't even have mountains in the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, it's a very flat place, isn't it?
Do you remember as well when you could have friends come over about 10 p.m. and you'd start your night then for movies and things? Now it gets to 10 p.m. and I'm like, it's nearly time for bed.
Yeah, this is happening to me as well. Like my friends here are like, "Come on, Dom, let's go out. It's Saturday night. It's 9 p.m. The night's young." And I'm like, I don't know. I think it's bedtime.
Yeah, I've got my my bag of nuts and a beer, and we're going to watch the end of some reality show, and then go,
Yeah.
I've got to be up early to clean the garage out on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Wow, that's a very bright bulb in that one lamp.
I know, it ignited the whole room.
I will say that what is with these houses and these enormous doors of nothing but glass?
Yeah, I mean, it's so that killers can leap through. It was a requirement back in the 90s. Half of these.
Yes, James. No, but I will say though, James. Actually, this is something I have found from when I've stayed in villas in Florida. A lot of the places you've stayed don't have curtains. They have just decorative curtains that don't close. But the windows tend to have blinds. I don't know if it's the style.
As was the style at the time. I'm not in the house.
Right, so your mother has been brutally murdered. Your father's worried about you constantly, and you got a lovely pagoda with a hose at the end of your drive, but at the end of your path, sorry, but you're having this weird situation happen, and you hear a girl's been stabbed and killed at school with her guts hanging out. So you unlock the door and have a wander outside and
I
leave
mean,
the
her
door
friends
open.
are douchebags. They seem like the kind of douches that would do this kind of prank. It's just me, Sid.
Yeah, yeah. And James says again, this is very much in debt to Black Christmas or When a Stranger Calls. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
You die just like your mother. And
Got
now
cancer.
after leaving the door open for a long time, but she does have the classic Scream Queen moves, doesn't she? Of being able to do a little bit of fighting, the kicks, and
Oh, I felt that.
oh,
Whew.
yeah,
Oh,
Lizard Man.
wow.
Lizard Man. Where you're saying you've like the Ghostface Killer's voice, you know it's a different guy every time, but that synthesizer sounding awesome sounding. I actually, during the height of this, bought the synthesizer they used in the film. It was available online, and it doesn't make your voice sound anything like his. It just makes your voice a little robotic sounding, unfortunately. You need to actually be the guy who does the
Talented.
voice. Yeah, no, you need to be Roger Jackson to do that voice.
Surprise, Cindy.
Yeah.
Sydney?
She's
Sydney.
so she's got a what? Is she deaf?
Yes.
Is she?
Oh, no, not actually.
Well, the actress is the actress supposed to be deaf? Or the character?
No.
Well, why has
No,
she
not at all.
got?
I mean, she answered
She's
the
lucky.
phone.
She was lucky that Nokia didn't break her foot when he dropped it.
Yeah,
But
it's true.
yeah, or leave a crater in the house. But why? I know she's got a computer with a modem thing, but she's got everything all set up on the correct software in place for dialing
Text
the
to
emergent
speech.
text to speech for the emergency services.
Ah, you goofball.
He does have that kind of rebel without a cause look to him, though, with a bit of greasy hair. He's probably got a
Yeah.
motorbike, hasn't he? Yes, Cowboy, it's the magic movie computer. And Dewey, who has some of the best character development in the movies. And I
The Andrew has not seen past Scream 3 before the
no,
comments go haywire with
deliberately,
spoilers.
deliberately, I've not seen past Scream 3.
I had to preamble that before the spoilers come in.
Yeah, exactly. Dewey's not getting any respect. And the news van. The problem was, James, I kind of noped out after Scream 3 when it had the Jane Silent Bob cameo. And then I was just like, no, I'm out of here. And I know that was down to Miramax, etc. But
Yeah.
Now, you
Gail
see,
is such a horrible person at the beginning, isn't she?
yeah, but I tell you what, she's very Lois Laney.
100%. I bet that's probably the inspiration for the character. If not the script's inspiration, definitely
Yeah,
Courtney Cox's
portrayal.
inspiration.
Yeah.
It doesn't help, do we, that your desk is full of, like,
Kids' toys.
real kiddie stuff, yeah.
Yeah. What would a teenage person be doing with a cellular phone? It's not a device commonly carried by young people.
Why do you have this cellular telemajig? I would love to drop like a teenager from now into the 90s and just see how quickly chaos ensues.
Yes.
The lingo alone. That murder was straight fire or something. I'm aging myself now by not knowing the lingo of the kids. God, he does just look like he's fresh off the set of Rebel Without a Cause.
He does, doesn't he?
Rebel with a Cause.
Or he looks like Johnny Depp in Crybaby.
Yes! Maybe that's on purpose because of the Johnny Depp connection
Yeah.
with Wes Craven. Oh, Kenny, you're a bad cameraman. Go a little higher, dude. Come on. Poor Kenny. And of course, as we know, they always get the wrong guy first. The red
Yes, exactly the trope.
herring.
Oh. But apparently as well, that's where you get your first real six string at the five and dime.
Yes.
And then you play it till your fingers bled, and the story goes on. Damned if I know kids these days with their compact discs and costumes and
cellular telemagigs.
telephones.
Back in my day, you'd take your gal to the local hamburger joint, dance the night away.
Rose Byrne, exactly. She's a great actress. Mr. Furzel says he's a high school teacher. Don't get you started on kids' face. Mr. Furzel, you have my sympathy, sir.
Now's the time to spill all the gossip about kids these days and how awful they are.
Nice. Is there a
The
back way out of
soundtrack
this
does
place?
go
Possibly,
hard.
possibly down the side of the building. Ooh.
I'm trying to think. Is there a single film where Gale doesn't get punched?
Who's that picture of?
I don't know. I was about to ask.
Right, I need the community to explain.
Yeah, come on, chat. Who is
It's
this
not
guy?
MacGyver, but it's very MacGyver looking.
It's a discount
No, it's not
MacGyver.
Richard Dean Anderson.
Why does she have double beds in her room?
Oh, it was a thing. I guess they've been there for a long time, not to be old. My wife and I, a few weeks ago, we had a weekend away, and we had a bit of a problem. The bed in the bedroom, unfortunately, had a bed board at the bottom, like a board at the bottom of the bed.
Hmm.
And I'm 6'3", and my feet, I had to sleep with my legs curled up, properly curled up, because I couldn't actually stretch my legs out on the bed without kicking the footboard at the bottom of the bed. So
Jesus, sounds horrible. Being
it
tall
was
sounds crappy.
it was horrible. So I had to sleep on the bed next to it because there were two double beds in the room for some reason. I had to sleep diagonally on the bed, which was terrible because when you sleep diagonally, naturally you straighten yourself out when you sleep. Then I kick the board and
Yeah.
wake up.
Oh god, that
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. Hello. Grant Goodeve, is it? Where do we know Grant Goodeve? No, that's not. That's not Richard Hatch, Mad Matt. I know Richard Hatch.
It's actually good police work that they're doing.
Yeah.
You don't hear that much in movies like this. The
No.
cops doing their job. Oh yeah, that's another trope that's kind of subverted, isn't it? The cops are actually doing their job. This soundtrack does go a bit too hard, doesn't it? Like
Does in
the
parts,
epic
yeah.
pulling up to the school.
I thought it was. I thought it was.
Is that Linda Blair? Yeah.
Dewey's mom is Mrs. Peltzer from Gremlins.
Oh snap! I didn't know that.
Yes, so basically that's her second family. She had to leave her first family. Some weird crap went down with like little monster
Yeah.
characters and.
I'm sorry. How big is that bruise? Oh, then again, it's a punch.
Yeah.
I'm so used to punches not meaning anything, but you get punched, it stings. Oh, it's my boy from Deadwood. Al's right hand man. I can't remember his name. Another subversion, another trope that has been subverted. The lead being perpetually correct about things.
Oh, definitely.
Sometimes you can be wrong.
There we go. I just quickly took a moment in the film to put some photos of that
The
popcorn
word
there.
this original popcorn.
Oh, it's like cocaine, crack cocaine in a bag. And they're making it fresh in front of you.
My goodness. Mr. Werther's himself.
Yes.
Mangled.
Was Cox here at the height of her friend's powers, or was she growing in them?
I think she was growing because I can't remember when Friends ended, but I think it was 2000s,
Yeah, I think this was done during the kind of the off season for
the
Friends,
middle
wasn't it?
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
2 years into
Sharon,
Friends.
about 2 years in.
Will oversized Hawaiian shirts ever come back in style?
I pray.
You and Tommy Bahama.
That's right. I will say I wouldn't want to play him in universe. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be caught. People connected with Courtney Cox's characters in movies. They tend to die, like appearance in Masters of the Universe and
Yeah,
associated people in the Scream franchise.
yeah. People meet Courtney Cox in person and it's like, no, no, I can't know you. I'm in danger.
The only thing I'm confused about plot-wise, it's not near Halloween in the universe at the moment, is it?
No, it's
So there
not.
seems to be an abundance of these costumes readily available, and this is pre lots of internet shopping.
Yeah, you're right. The Halloween stores in America, they pop up
I mean, obviously
around
there'll be some
Halloween
all year
time
round
and
costume
disappear.
stores, but I'd imagine not that many of them. So in this
Yeah.
small town, there must be a limited number of places you can buy this costume from, I would have thought. I know you said you can buy it from every five and dime, but surely it can't be that many. Anyway, just poking a little hole there. Yeah, Lizard Man, I'm not disputing there has to be a costume store in the town somewhere, but without all the pop-up Halloween stores, I would have thought pre-internet the availability of those costumes must be, unless someone, I mean, either someone went in and bought 4 or 5 of them because we know that they've lost them because they get left on scenes and things. Well, Fraglord, is that where you buy your Christmas serial killer costumes from the Christmas shop? But
Yes.
no, we. Yeah, Edward, I'd agree. Have several movies. How's this costume not banned in this town? There's some serious scissors he's got in his office.
I could do with some of those scissors. They are beastly.
Oh.
Another red herring. But again, another subversion. The principal act. What the hell are those soap dispensers?
Oh, I've seen those kind of ones before. Basically, you dispense out a large bottle into it and then put it on like that. And they're that full of the soap that dries out over time.
Oh yeah, it becomes crusty, nasty nonsense.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will say that is one of the benefits of the past few years. Soap dispensers in bathrooms, in public bathrooms, have got a lot better. Like I like the ones that do the
Oh yes.
foam ones. Yeah.
These are very like.
Cruel and well, I mean, yeah, you
Well,
are
I was
right.
gonna say vocally literate. That
They're very.
articulate.
They're very articulate kids.
Imagine your job is being the guy, like the primo guy, that makes bathroom sets look horrific.
Yeah,
Like the Candyman bathroom.
yeah, yeah.
That set decorator
Or the Saw
deserved an
bathroom,
Oscar.
or the
Yeah.
Saw bathroom. Yeah.
I'm the guy that did the Candyman bathroom.
James says, when the aliens ask why we deserve to survive, please don't let Andrew be mankind's spokesman. We're good soap dispensers. Hey, you got to take a win where you can get it, my friend.
You have no idea how far humanity has come. We used to be barbaric, and now look at our soap dispensers.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
Lizard
produce
Man.
foam.
Lizard Man's saying he doesn't know many bathrooms outside of Disney World that aren't filthy as hell. Lizard Man, has anyone here ever been to a Bucky's bathroom? I would have a wedding in there. They're gorgeous.
I went to a bathroom in a pub in Birmingham. Uh, it was a speakeasy, not really a pub, but it was
Yeah.
divine.
Oh, no,
It
no, no.
was
A Bucky's
divine.
bathroom, honestly, it's... After this, you'll have to have a look. They are... Yeah.
The stalls had their own sinks and a variety of soaps and lotions. I It was called the Alchemist. This pub, and it was divine. It was phenomenal. I'd not seen bathrooms, especially men bathrooms, that ornate. Oh, it was amazing. No telephone sanitizers the end of us all.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, Laurie Duval says the Halloween 2018 gas station bathroom. Well, Sharon's saying it's a porn tash. I don't think it's a porn tash. It's more like lip pubes, I'd call them. Basically, he's only just able to grow a mustache, which is why it's so kind
Pathetic.
of... Yeah, it's kind of so weedy because he can't grow much more.
Mm.
I think as well, though, he's probably got that mustache because he's a baby face, isn't he?
What?
Well,
What are you talking about, Stu?
I don't know. It's kind of the cool kids, isn't it?
Hmm.
But the area is so perfect. Look how neat all the hedges are, and the little picket fences, and the fact the kids haven't dropped trash all over that path.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
Such a neat,
yeah.
delightful area.
I thought he cut that up.
He cut one of them up.
Uh, oh, not Principal Fonzie.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Lizard Man. They certainly match the aesthetic of 20 to 30-year-olds pretending they're teenagers. Yeah, I mean, they all look like they've got mortgages and own their own houses, most of the kids in this school.
Oh yes.
See, look at that as well. That's definitely dating it. They've got like computer terminals there, but they've... Oh, lovely. Fred,
Fred.
the janitor. But the school's got a proper electric typewriter for formal letters.
Ah yes.
Thank you. Yes, Laurie, that was Wes Craven there. And James, the kill was added by the studio, dictating the Weinstein said the film had gone too long between kills. It is quite a while.
Mm. Oof. Oof. There is something so visceral about a knife.
Oh, that is such a thing. Putting the stereo on the windowsill.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, poor Fonzie.
It's hard to prove.
Yeah, it's hard to prove you're having an affair unless you've got some kind of evidence.
Mm. These kids with their cellular telephones these days. Oh, I'm loving this camera work. Again, it's moving so much. It's so fluid.
Oh yeah, it doesn't really have any down points.
And the soundtrack just bubbling in the background there, being slightly
Yeah.
creepy.
Oh God, now that's an overused film clip, isn't it?
Yes.
Question is that movie there in public domain now, and that's why we see it so much?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Trying to see some of the. Oh, there's a copy of. There's a copy of Babe on the shelf behind him.
Mm.
A lot of people
Pig in the City?
throwing love for the video. No, it's the original Babe back then. A lot of people are throwing love on the video store we're seeing.
Just nostalgia.
Yeah.
God, I had a sneeze then. You've passed it over to me, Andrew.
Exactly. Apologise.
A computer virus.
Is that Clerks, or is that a Clerks poster on the end behind him? Because it's a Miramax film.
Potentially.
The black and white one. Thank you, James. Yes, the Universal Frankenstein is in public domain in the US. That probably explains why it's in so many movies now. Yeah. Dom, I'm going to do a little bit of role play with you.
Okay.
We're at the video store in the 90s. Mom, can we get some soda and popcorn in the video store?
No, we have soda and popcorn at home.
Thank you.
And the soda and popcorn we have at home is crappy popcorn that's just shitty as hell, and
Yes.
Asda brand Iron Brew.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Shan's right. Soda and popcorn always tasted better when you bought it at Blockbuster
Yeah.
with your rentals. However, I remember it used to cost more for the popcorn and the soda than it did for the movies most of the time. It was a little expensive. But I'm going to explain something about, and Dom will appreciate this, living in the UK versus you guys in America. In the UK, we have something called the Sunday trading laws, which means any large store cannot open on a Sunday in England or Wales beyond 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on a Sunday. So, say on a Sunday evening you went to Blockbuster to to buy to rent a movie, you couldn't nip to the supermarket, etc., to buy your soda or anything because the stores were closed. So they had you over a barrel.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah.
Another kind of trope. Oh, everyone's on curfew, and if you break the curfew or if you're there alone, you're doomed. Not
Yep.
necessarily what happens here.
Exactly, Laurie. Business owners in the States would lose their minds if they were forced to close for something as incidental as a murder or two. Well, I
Yeah.
guess a business in New York or Chicago or Detroit or somewhere, they just never open when there's a murder in the vicinity.
Another one. Aye. The lighting center.
Well, they're all instilling the virtues of cinema popcorn in the Discord. But like I said, don't come to the UK. UK cinema popcorn is terrible because it's all pre-popped and squeaky and stale because they don't pop it fresh.
Yeah, you see it get popped in the cinemas here, just popping in the background when they
Yeah,
scoop it up.
not in the UK now. Someone worked out it's actually cheaper logistically to send a lorry with garbage sacks full of pre-popped popcorn to a theatre and store garbage sacks of pre-popped popcorn than have a garbage sack of popcorn seeds to kernels to pop fresh. So it's
God.
terrible.
In my local AMC here in Vegas, we have varieties of gourmet popcorn, like Oreo flavor and hot Cheeto flavor.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest cinema popcorn fan. I tend not to get it. I take candy instead. That's my cinema snack of choice.
I will say though, my local theatre, I tend to take my own snacks with me, but I do buy my soda there because they sell a soda in my local Odeon now. It's been turned into this magnificent palace now. We've now got Coke Freestyle machines in, and they carry a German soda called
Ooh.
Mezzomix, which I'm sure some of you have heard of if you're in Europe. It's basically like a mixture of Coca-Cola and orange.
That does sound fantastic. Oh. Mad Matt just posting loads of cinema popcorn. You
Yeah,
can actually
that's it.
purchase bags of
Yeah,
the popcorn
but
and take it home with you from the AMC now.
that's literally what they get in the theatres in the UK. You see them refill the thing at the front, like the thing where they scoop it out of, with a garbage bag full of popcorn. Oh no, Laurie's saying. But if you go to the early movie, ask for the corn out the popper. They empty the leftovers from the night before into the bin in the morning. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that's a house.
Oof, these kinds of parties,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
I used to frequent these kind of parties myself. These were the days.
Well, I can see the chat talking about faxes. In fact, it's been a while since I saw this. Is there something to do with faxes in this or another Scream movie? Like they fax a message like he's in the house or something.
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember if they do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure
It's
if
the
there's another
90s, so I
one.
can imagine they would.
Yeah.
Keep him safe.
Yeah, James, it might be in Scream 2. Yeah.
You don't want to be the adults at a teenager's party.
No.
Ever. Oh. In the chat, 1 for Evil Dead, 2 for Hellraiser. How many for Evil Dead and how many for Hellraiser?
Hang on. There was other choices. There was Terror Train and there was Prom Night.
Oh. Oh, Terror Train. Oh, wow. I love that movie.
It's no Super Train, the TV show, though. Super Train, the TV show about this enormous nuclear-powered train that went around with nightclubs on it.
Snowpiercer before Snowpiercer.
Imagine basically Love Boat on a nuclear-powered train. Yes, Laurie, they are probably rolling a joint back there in that house. I think it's all the natures of debauchery. Exactly, Mad Max. Super Train, sci-fi Love Boat. Oh, this is so 90. That was that Garbage? That song then
It
was in the
may
back. The
have
group
been.
Garbage, yeah. Oh, that's a good question, James. So if you hadn't seen it by now, who would you have pegged as the killers by now, or the killer? They must have a lot of eggs in that. Hang on, Americans don't keep their eggs in the fridge.
I do. Then again, I'm
You're
British.
British. You're British. You do things as it's intended. Mr. Fursell says we do. Look, they must have a
There you
lot
go.
of eggs to keep them in the overflow spare fridge in the basement. Oh, sorry. Americans keep them in the fridge. British people don't. Sorry, I remember now. We don't. I remember now. We don't, because our eggs are on the side next to the air fryer. Yes, Americans do. British people don't. There we go. I forgot what country.
Hells. So I've betrayed my people.
You have. You've betrayed your homeland.
Just duck under it.
Oh, that's a good question, James. Is this the best kill in the film?
I think it is. I like this kill. This kill is
Yeah, it is good.
iconic. This is the kill of the movie. And it was parodied so well in Scary Movie.
Ow!
Not cool, dude.
Not at all. She just hit him in the face with a dozen ice cream sandwiches by looks of it.
What a delicious way to go down.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. It is Laurie. It's a monument to bad decision making. Her imminent death.
A lot of the deaths here, a lot of the tropes, it
Yeah,
kind of justifies some of them as well. Like earlier in the movie where Sydney was saying, "Why would a girl go upstairs when they can just run out the door?" And then
yeah.
immediately after, she tries to run out the door. It's locked. She could easily just take it out and run, but you don't think in that moment. You never do.
And will not. Oh. And we'll also not say that garage door openers actually have a safety mechanism if something's jammed in them like that.
Yes. like a chainsaw. The
Yeah,
moment
like
any
a
bit of goop gets in a chainsaw, it's useless.
exactly. Laurie, there's no way the door is strong enough to lift her like that. No.
I often go to doors going, ah, myself.
Exactly. Sharon says no one puts a cat door in the garage door anyway. Well, I tell you what kind of cat gets a cat door in the garage door. A lucky cat.
Mm.
How big is this house with the garage? Or the garage? Because it's
No one
connected to
is.
a house with a cellar,
Hmm.
and there's also, what party have you ever been to, teen party, when you were growing up, whereby there weren't also people plastered outside the house?
None. They're always out there vomiting on
Everywhere.
the on the.
Yeah.
Then again, us Brits, we can party harder than the Americans.
No, no, no. Don't forget that we are missing a couple of tropes here. For example, if it's a teen party, there has to be a girl crying who's locked herself in the
Yes,
bathroom
yes,
while her friends talk to her through the door, trying to get her to unlock the door as she's having a
yes,
breakdown.
yes.
And there also has to be another girl who's been dumped by her boyfriend, is sat on the stairs crying, surrounded by her coven,
Hmm.
and any time the boyfriend comes within about 10 feet of her, they all kind of turn and look like deadites, kind of like at him,
Yes,
defending
yes,
her.
and they will for the next couple of weeks at least.
Yes.
And there's also the pair that a lot of the popular people are trying to set up, and it's really awkward
Yes.
because they're trying to get romantic, but everyone's watching like hawks.
Yes.
Then there's that person who decides that they can cook, and they start
Yes.
throwing things in a pan, and then fires happen.
Yes. Exactly. I remember going to a party as a teen where the girl was crying in the bathroom, uh, refusing to unlock the door, and her best friend was pushing potato chips under the crack under the bottom of the door for her to eat because they were both.
Oh no! Oh!
I remember her saying, "She's eating them. She's eating the potato chips."
What flavour Walkers were they?
I can't remember.
Sour cream and onion.
Oh yeah, Sharon, exactly. But Sharon's saying the girl will be crying in the bathroom because the boy she likes her friend instead. And also, Sharon, it could be the girl in the bathroom is crying because the boy she likes did something as innocuous as opened a door for the girl, for her best friend. Oh, he likes you because he opened the door for you because he was walking through the door near you. Don't forget, it's teen angst. Reason and all reason is out the window when alcohol and
Oh
teenagers
yeah.
are involved. Yeah. Oh dear. See, there's nothing wrong with movie nerds. Mr. Vezel says a guy that makes analogies to movies is a red flag.
Depends on the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, true, Mr. Furzel. Eric says, really, really enjoying this watch party with you. Scream is one of your favourite movies. Well, I'm glad you're really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, this film.
Weirdly, because you know there are those films like The Sixth Sense where you watch it once and then you can never really
Yeah.
have that experience ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Scream kind of defies that. You watch it once and you can never have that experience again, sure, but each rewatch is different experiences, and you pick up on different things, and you learn how tropes are subverted a lot, especially if you watched it then, watching it now,
Yeah,
and watched all the things preceding it. It
exactly. I think
it's a
as well,
weirdly
this...
timeless movie.
Oh, so they're actually watching Halloween now, aren't they?
Yes, which wasn't one
So
of
they're
the
going...
options.
Which wasn't one of the options.
Oof.
I think we can all relate to Randy in this, as some of us who are film nerds doing this kind of thing. I think as well, a big thing about this is these movies, and as we're going to see in the next few weeks, we've got our sort of mini teen horror season. This teen culture is very much of the era, because also we had like American Pie, which wasn't a genre film of the horror, but they were relatable kind of similar teens.
Mm. See, this is clever as well. This is brilliant because it's on. You
Yeah.
notice it's on a time delay, and so when you see something happen, you're like, "Oh no!"
We think there could be a killer in the car down the road. Do you want to come and have a look?
Yeah, alone,
Be
just you and me.
safe. Yeah, James, exactly like Dom just said. Really good establishing the time delay between the. Oh, she said, "I'll be
I'll
right
be right
back."
back.
He's really examining those Cheetos, isn't he?
Don't you examine every single Cheeto you have before you consume it?
Yeah, but don't forget, we don't have flaming hot Cheetos in the UK.
I know it's a tragedy.
Yeah, I know.
I weep for you.
I know.
We have it in such abundance. It's on popcorn.
Yes, but you don't have Monster Munch, so.
Boy, you gotta rub it in like that. That's not fair. I miss Monster Munch.
Or Quavers.
Yeah, Quavers were great.
Yes.
Bloody hell. Look at that ornate.
They're all
This is
leaving
like
the
Resident
party
Evil
rather.
Mansion.
It looks like the kids are all leaving the party really in an orderly.
Yeah, sober. Like,
And
see you at the golf course next Tuesday, Jimmy. Like, really parentally leaving the party.
They're also rather responsible with their alcohol intake. There's no kids being almost carried out by their friends
Yeah.
singing a loud song on repeat.
He doesn't love me. It's all right, Beth. Come on, we'll get you home. No, it's all time to get home. Those parents are going to be up all night if we don't put them to sleep.
Well, Laurie says Gen X was the first generation to experience direct teen marketing and content. Teens like this were a result, yes. God, that's an expensive TV for the day. That's a large Sony Trinitron.
Oh yes.
That's an expensive set.
And this is a great use of diegetic soundtracks bleeding
Yeah.
over into the soundtrack of the film and how it's causing an atmosphere. Again, it's bleeding the
Yeah. Oh, there we
reality
go.
and the fiction areas.
You can see Clerks on tape there.
Mm.
And no one worrying about drink driving.
Why would there?
That's more like it when you're exiting a party.
Yeah. How far down the road is it?
They're going to get run over by the kids driving like idiots to go and see the dead principal hanging from the football field. Only thing I will say is with my headphones on, I don't know if it's the same for you, Dom, at the moment, they've overdone the footsteps on the road. It sounds like they're literally dragging their double feet,
Horses going.
like they're limping up the road, dragging their feet. Oh, here they come.
Yeah, for sure. They're louder. The clop clops are louder than the cars.
We just nearly killed a police officer. Extreme!
Yes.
Actually, something I was trying to say the other day, Dom, was that I do feel that as we're moving towards In Search of Darkness 90s, we need to do a special edition of the 90s films. I think something I might take back to Robin is, I'm going to say this to the audience now, the idea of this. As you know, In Search of Darkness 90s is going to be for years, as we've discussed.
Mm-hmm.
A supercut done at the end of it of all of them into one massive long called the Extreme Edition, because it's 90s.
X, yeah, with just an X. Extreme.
Yes, Extreme Edition.
Yeah.
And it'll be a super duper cut of all of the 90s In Search of Darkness films edited into one.
Perfect. Has to happen.
That's nice and awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they've done the do on her parents' bed, left the bed looking like a war zone, and then uses her friend's parents' hairbrush to brush her hair.
Yeah. It's standard, that's what you do. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a depressing parents' bed.
It is. It is. Exactly, Mr. Fursel. She's not a virgin anymore. Another good subversion by Craven.
Mm.
I'm kind
Not
of wondering.
ask so
Yeah.
intensely.
Yeah, here's a hint. If you want to lock someone out, don't use a door that has an emergency opening on the other side on the lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a
Oh.
bathroom door. How big is this damn house?
Big enough to host a big party with murders that no one notices. Big enough for a Resident Evil game to happen in it, probably.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Fursel, it's got a stained glass window.
Oh, my back.
It's a boat. It's the boat. Okay. Why is there a wetsuit now on the floor? Under the tarp? I don't know. Anyway. Exactly, James. Bruce Wayne's mansion is small as stately Wayne Manor. It would break her back, Sharon. Yeah, she'd probably have landed on the edge of a seat, wouldn't she?
There it is again. The
Yeah, it's
music.
nice. It's nice having the music. I also think it's quite nice as well that Wes Craven wasn't so vain, even though he'd be perfectly entitled to use,
Nightmare on Elm
clips
Street.
of Nightmare on Elm Street in this, but he chose to use Halloween instead.
Yeah.
So it's probably worth assuming then that the Ghostface killer made the call to the car about the car in the bush to get Dewey out of there.
Probably.
Good point. Good point, James. I'm not sure if it was Wes Craven's or Kevin Williamson's choice, but hopefully Wes. Ooh. My throat's been cut. Can you help me?
Give me more of those hot Cheetos.
Yes.
Very useful that the truck has an exit hole.
Yeah, for the through the rack in it.
Yeah.
If I was the Ghostface killer, instead of trying to crawl through there to open it, so you already got the big door open, I've just gone backwards and come out the back door.
For
But,
the big door, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, Lizard Man. Her addiction to denim probably just saved her. Double denim.
At least it's not
Exactly,
triple denim.
Calbot.
We
There
have
are a lot
seen
of
worse.
cat. There's a lot of cat doors in this movie.
I mean, the 90s is known as the decade of cat doors.
Yeah. Now, I've got to tell you a quick side story about cat doors. I always like telling these weird, funny stories. My parents used to have a house in France, and they had a pet cat. Well, my parents, on their house in France, it had like a barn garage built attached to the house. And so that their cat could get in and out, they bought this special cat door. And what you did was you scanned the microchip on the cat, and the cat door would only open to allow your cat
The
in.
particular cat. Okay.
In. Well, my father installed the door backwards, right?
Oh, so any
So,
cat could come in.
but not get out. My mother came down to about 15 cats all just sat in the barn looking at her like something out of film one day because all these cats wandered in overnight
The
and couldn't
little
get
known
out.
Alfred Hitchcock sequel, The
Yeah.
Cats.
Yes. Yeah.
Why does her voice
Yeah.
echo so much? Is she in is it a cavern or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
My
Oh.
cat, guys, Lizard Man, Mr. Fursel, I never let him out.
Poor Kenny.
Yeah.
Thank the
Well, Sharon,
gods
it would
for
work.
cellular
It would
television.
work if you put the cat. When my father fitted the cat door the right way around, it only let their cat in. It was fine. Yeah.
Yee.
Well, Lizardman's saying, how did Ghostface drag Kenny away? I guess because. I mean, how did he get Kenny up there? Is the question.
Yeah. Poor Kenny, man. He doesn't deserve this.
No. Go on, bump your head, Gail. Bump your head. She's gonna have a little thing of blood coming down here. She's got to. A little
Yeah.
cut of
A
blood.
single cut.
Oh, Calbot, sorry you got it right. I just saw you did the. Oh my god, they killed Kenny.
Yes. Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
I'm just saying, I'm having a great time with this film. This is so much fun. This film because
It is,
it
yeah.
it really is it's a new. Well, it's not new now, but it was a new film. We'll get into it in the conclusion at the end. It was a new, classic horror.
It is good to know that I was alive to witness at least one of the classics be
Yeah.
born. Ugh, it's good to know.
She's a proper kicker, isn't she? She kicks him a few times.
Yeah.
Mr. Furzel, he made the locks go back up like that in the 90s because he quite probably had remote central locking and he was just pushing the. Because it showed he had the keys, so he was just pushing the button and the door locks were unlocking.
Thank you, James. I'm also sorry I wasn't alive for it, but
However,
it lives on in my heart.
what she should probably have done is the car would have had a button inside to lock all the doors, so she should just
Yeah.
kept pressing every time the doors unlocked. Oh, he's overreacting, isn't he?
He's going full Lillard.
Yeah. You can see where Shaggy came from.
I can understand where she's coming from, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd care too much about my mates either if I've been through so much shit.
No, I think I'd be.
We've established what you in the cabin in the woods. You'd kill me just for the sake of it.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
You might go bad, Dom. Sorry, chainsaw Rev.
Exactly. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Nothing personal, kid.
And now you're thinking it's Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There it is, the evil look.
Not
Everyone
the
knows.
Quidenza. Yeah, unfortunately, those boxes don't work quite as well as that because I bought one thinking it's going to be just like that, and it was like it just makes my voice go a bit. Or James Helly saying, and that's why Freddie Prinze Jr. didn't get the part. However, don't worry, James. You're getting some Freddie Prinze Jr. next week.
Oh yeah. See, there you go. The protagonist was wrong.
And there we go, James. This film really comes down on Sharon Stone a couple times.
Yeah, it does. I was about to say that. Oof.
No, exactly, Laurie. Safety tip, kids. Scratching your head with a barrel of a gun you just fired isn't a good idea.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, listen, man, I don't know what Sharon Stone did to the writer of this script, because, yeah.
Oh
Mad Matt, leave no Sharon Stone unturned. Oh, he is so over the top, isn't he? Stu.
God. There's some scenery over there, Matthew, that you didn't quite chew.
He's just going out to chew the car.
Yeah.
It's rather elaborate having her father stashed there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about cloning cell phones in in this era. If they were analog cell phones, they were incredibly easy to clone because all you needed was administrative codes for the phone and certain configuration details out the phone. You could program the network provider information over between the two handsets. Not that I ever did such things or knew how to do it. Do 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 do.
Chat, if I go missing, find Andrew.
Oh,
Ah.
her dad's saying, "Use the force, Sydney."
Use the popcorn.
Use the quickly, Sydney. Look for a thing of Jiffy Pop. Heat it up.
It's the only way.
They are getting carried away, aren't they?
I've got a little woozy.
Yeah.
It's just encompassing us right now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is great. Oh. Yeah. James, I think I agree with you. I think that Stu isn't as part of the wider plan. He thinks he's meant to survive, but I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's Billy's plan. Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, exactly, James, because at the end of the day, if Stu survives, Billy would have someone who could tell the truth, maybe to save himself.
Dead men tell no
No
tales.
tales.
Dead rats don't squeal.
Oh.
Maybe you shouldn't have stabbed me like 6 times.
Yeah.
And again, another subversion here.
Oh no, she called the police.
And it's fun as an audience member when
Yeah.
you first were introduced to this whole thing. It was frightening. You were in Drew's shoes.
Yeah.
Now we're in Sydney's shoes, and we are desperate for her to sneak up on him and play with them. So an act that we thought was horrifying is now something we are eager to see come to a conclusion. A movie has literally made a monster out of us.
Oh, I love that line. My mum and dad are going to be so mad at me. Yeah, exactly, Calbot. You get the feeling that Stu was certainly led into doing this by Billy.
Oh yeah.
At the moment, Billy's like, yeah, all the plan doesn't matter. He's prepared now just to whatever happens. Umbrellas, my only weakness.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ugh.
The thing is, the film could have gone entirely the wrong way. The police find her in the costume like that, with the
Yeah.
knife, and like,
And assume
well,
she's the killer.
yeah. Ooh.
Adrenaline, it's one hell of a drug.
Lizardman says, right in the clavicle. I didn't know he played a musical instrument. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to prime time.
Ooh. Death by TV.
Death by stereo.
Exactly. That, Eric. That stopped after basically after plasma TVs. You didn't have anything with massive capacitors in it like CRTs and plasma TVs.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, TVs are a lot safer.
Oh, you fucking scumbag. Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh. Gail finally figured out to take the safety catch off.
Everyone always hits people in the shoulder.
Oh yeah, Lizard Man. I mean, if a big enough flat screen falls on you, it's still going to probably hurt you. But it's they don't have the high voltage bits that CRTs and plasma screens used to have. CRTs like that have massive capacitors in them.
I think the squib man just liked that right shoulder.
Yeah. Oh. The only thing I'm wishing is Randy's t-shirt reminds me, but it's not. It reminds me of what's called a global hypercolor t-shirt, which was a big thing in the 90s. I don't know. You're probably too young to remember them, Dom, but they were a massive
I
thing
do
in the
not
90s.
remember them.
Basically, they were t-shirts that when you got warm would change colour.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, everybody. I know that they're not like you don't aim for the head or anything. You should aim for center mass, but it seems to perpetually hit the right shoulder. The birth of the double tap.
Yeah.
Oh, that soundtrack again.
Yeah. Good point, James. Billy shot in the head, but does Stu live? Well, I'm thinking probably not. I'm thinking he was probably electrocuted. And a combination of he'd lost so much blood, the weight of that enormous telly probably squeezed what was left in him out of him. Ah, well, I didn't see you earlier. Hell if I know. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Farmhouse, yeah, with no farm attached to it. Just an enormous garden.
Yeah. One final jump scare.
Yep. And there we go, everybody. That was Scream. That was such a joy to watch. What a great movie. So much fun. I'll take comments from our friends over on YouTube and Discord. As you're typing them up, Dom, let's sum this up.
It's a beautifully done spooky teen horror film, and it is such a time capsule, and yet is timeless because regardless of where you watch it in time, it tells you a lot about the culture then and the culture now. And seeing
Oh,
it's a
definitely.
progenitor to so much.
Oh, it is. I mean, this was a homage to a lot of the classics, yet it's somewhat reinvented and reinvigorated a relatively stale genre. I mean, you've got to remember, I think shortly before this, some of the latter Halloween films were almost direct to TV movies. It was
Yeah.
that barrel had been truly scraped. As Calbot says, it revived the slasher genre, and it still holds up. So if we go through some of the comments, Sharon says, "Good movie, Phonic. It's a masterpiece, Mr. Furzel. Great slasher flick." And of course, Sharon says, "Great fun with you all." Fraggled says, "The start of the second is great, though. Never been a kill close to the silver screen. Eric, this was such a great watch party. Really awesome. Calbot really revived the slasher genre. Still holds up. Fraglord, it's such an important movie. It reset the genre and made us all horror fans again. Lizardman, so very 90s, but I still love it all the same. A wonderful homage to a genre that needed a second life." Onzi says, "Scream, and I know what you did last summer. Revived the slasher genre. Fraglord, it did for scary movies what Clueless and American Pie did for teen movies and horror." And everyone's saying it's a great movie. Over on our friends on YouTube, we've got Hell if I Know saying, "Great flick, thanks, folks." I suppose my speech is not so good tonight. James Hellier says, "Absolutely superb, clever, and funny. Dewey and Gale are my favourites." Yep. It was such a great fun movie. I had a wonderful time tonight, and we've got more of this. We're doing a mini season of these kind of teen 90s horror films. So that's our first one off. We've got 4 weeks in total of these. Next week, we will be back with I Know What You Did Last Summer. So that's going to be another treat. I'm really looking forward to that. That's another kind of on this. And then following that, the week after, we'll be watching Urban Legend. And then the week after that, The Faculty. So we're going to be having quite a few of these fun kind of 90s horrors, going into a bit of sci-fi. And then after this season, I'm going to already tell you what's coming after this season, after The Faculty. So it will be on May 14th. I'm going to put a GIF in the chat because it's one of our most requested movies. It's going to be... No, Summer Popcorn, Sharon, starts in... First week of Summer Popcorn will be July 2nd this year. But after this mini season, we're going to be going back to a bit of sci-fi and watching Galaxy Quest, which I can't wait for. So we've got some amazing stuff lined up. But everybody, as always, be kind to each other, look after each other, stay safe, and we will see you in 7 days' time. So, bye-bye.
See you then.